Hi everyone, I'm Tom Wilson. Welcome back to the Northern Gamblers podcast. It's ARC weekend, so we'll talk a little bit about that, but at the end, and we'll focus on Saturday's cards at Ascot, Newmarket, and we might touch on Redcar as well. James Dunkley is here. Hi James, and getting ready for his selections to hopefully win this afternoon.
Hi Tom. Yeah, we need to keep October rolling, keep the winners coming in. We've had a decent start with winners, so yeah, keep it going.
Some good jockey rides would be nice.
Oh Jesus! Well, yeah, we should be at least 2 more wins. Don't get me started on that one yesterday.
Right. What we will do is we will start at Ascot. We'll start. So we've got a card there. You got the Roo Stakes, the Cumberland Lodge, the Challenge Cup, the decent 7 furlong handicap, the Bengoff Stakes, and a couple of other races as well. We'll start off at 2:00 with the Roo Stakes. The market there is headed by Dakota Gold for Dodsey. A year after Dodsey won this race with Intense Romance. James, do you think Dakota Gold will continue on the good form and win this? Or are you looking elsewhere?
It's not a race I'm overly infused with, to be honest. Haven't gone into it in great detail. Obviously, one thing we should mention for Ascot and probably everywhere this weekend is it's going to be soft to heavy ground. They've had more rain on it at Ascot. They've just had the first race there, and it looked like pretty soft, verging on heavy. So obviously, take that into account with any bets you're having. You want that soft, heavy ground form. Yeah, I mean Dakota Gold's got a decent chance, hasn't it? What's its form like on soft? And he's won twice on soft, and he's run okay on heavy, so that's not going to really be an issue for him. As you said, Dodgy won this last year with Intense Romance, who does love a bog, so she'll be interesting off a lighter weight. True Mason was a horse I liked for Haydock last week when they were supposed to have heavy ground. Just that was in a handicap though. I like his mark of 95. I'm not sure I like him in a listed race.
Yeah.
I'm running off the same weight as some just higher rated horses than him. Simple as that. It's not a race I'll be betting in, so I'm not even going to put one up.
I quite like Stake a Claim here. From Dean Ivory's yard. He's got course and distance form in the book already. He's 1 from 2 at the track over the 5 furlong distance. The reason that kind of it put me onto him was actually the run at Newbury in April. So it was an early season run in April on soft ground, and he ran an absolute mega speed figure, actually higher than any of the rest of this field have run all season. And you can get him. I think he's at 8s, is he? Or he might even he's at 10s in some places. Or 10s with race bets, whoever the hell they are. 8s and 9s with most reputable bookmakers. Yeah, decent soft ground form, course and distance, bit of juice in the price. I think Dakota Gold is proper solid as the market leader. It's potentially got claims to be one of the horses of the season, really, with the string of 4 wins that he put together mid-season.
Jesus.
Well, in terms of kind of winning most horses.
An improver, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Improving horse.
Celsius has been very good. Dakota Gold's been very good.
Been very good for you, hasn't he, Celsius?
Yeah, that's why I always mention it.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always
113 SP. And commercially has been quite good for Grant as well, hasn't she? She's won 4 or 5.
Yeah. Well, you always get ones like that. But...
Yeah. But I'm going to go for Stake a Claim. Proper shout, I think, each way in that. So that is one, and it's in my article as well. So.
Oh, an article. Oh, are you a journalist?
Yeah. tell Doncaster that I am.
Yeah. Nice to get in the press.
Yeah, of course. 2:35, 1 mile 4, Cumberland Lodge. Group 3 race. What a pile of shite this is. Do you like anything in this?
I couldn't disagree with you more.
I think it's an awful race. I looked at it and I absolutely hated looking at it.
Why?
I think they're all rats.
No. You
I hate them.
couldn't be further from the truth.
The rats. It's a horrible Group 3.
We've got a really good bet in this race. Probably my nap, to be fair, of the whole weekend. Wells, Far, Go. The price has gone a little bit because I put it up this morning. But this horse has been waiting for some cut in the ground since he was 2. He was 2 out of 2 as a 2-year-old. Both of those runs coming on good to soft. Second of which was the Acomb Stakes, Group 3 over 7 furlongs, which would have been plenty short for him. I mean, he's by far, he's out of a Galileo mare. He stays a mile and a half at least. That was good to soft in places. He beat James Garfield that day. It was a very solid group. Did he win a Group 2? He definitely won a Group 3. Beat Expert Eye, but he was a 7 furlong horse. So to beat him at 2 over 7 furlongs was quite impressive. Back in that, I mean, this is 2-year-old form, but 4th that day was Zaki. 6th was DXB. So he was a very good 2-year-old. Obviously, then went up in Trip as a 3-year-old. He won the Bahrain Trophy, which is a Group 3 at Newmarket. Now all of his runs since the 2-year-old races have been on sort of good to firm. That's not by design. That's just how it's fallen for him. The races that he's been running in, that's how the ground was that day. He was supposed to be getting targeted at the Ledger. He actually ran in the Voltager, ran okay in that. But again, the ground just didn't ever get soft, and I think he picked up an injury after that. So that day in the Bahrain Stakes, he went from the front, made all. Really impressive ride from Dave Allen that day, and I'm sort of hoping he'll do that tomorrow. There's not much pace in the race, so I'm hoping he leads from the front. His last 2 runs, he ran in the Ebor, was 15th in the Ebor, was held up. But, I mean, the Ebor was a ridiculously competitive race, and I can forgive him that. And before then, he went off like a crazy horse in the Goodwood Group 1, which Stradivarius won, the Goodwood Cup. So he was never going to win that, especially the way he went off. But before then, on his first start of the season, he actually won a listed race by 4 lengths and looked really on top form. A repeat of that performance would probably be good enough to win this. But I'm just excited to get him on the top ground. Hope he can get a soft lead and show his class. I think on his day, if he did his top performance, he's a comfortable Group 2 horse. As I said, he ran in the Voltager, which all Persian run. He was 4th behind Kew Gardens. So there's class in there, and I think he was 8-1 this morning. I think that definitely underestimates him. So yeah, I really like Wells Fargo.
Yeah, you sound very keen. Yeah, I absolutely hated that race.
I just think looking at it, I think Mirando's still overrated on when he beat Kew Gardens at Chester. Like, he's been dining out on that ever since, and that was on soft ground. He's going to like the soft ground, but Kew Gardens has had a terrible season and just didn't look right that day. He's done nothing much since. Beaten by Technician last time out, but you mean he was giving Technician a lot of weight. Technician was 6th in a Ledger, which is all right. In his 4th that day was Sexton. He's come out and won a Group 3 since, but I don't think it was the best Group 3. Fairlax's interesting, incredible pedigree by Dubawi out of Daydream. So the Arc winner Daydream there. He steps up in grade, massively up in grade. He won a Class 3 at Kempton last time out, beating Babo's Boy. The only other time he stepped up to at least Class 2, he was beaten at Ascot by 14 Artist. So, although the pedigree, I think his price is based on pedigree, basically. I mean, before then he was winning Class 5 races, Class 4 races. So I can take him on at that price. Rakib Al-Hawa is interesting. Don't think he's good enough. This might be a step too far in distance for him as well. By Kingman. The damn sire is Steelers Star, so maybe there is a bit of stamina in there, but I don't think that race he won last time out was that good. I think this is too much of a step in class. And then I'm not keen on the other two. So yeah, I really like Wells Fargo.
The only one I would put up, if I had to as a selection, would be Vivid Diamond, which is one that you haven't mentioned.
Yeah.
That race last time out, that Embahar one, was a monster race. It's a monster race on the clock, and I think you're going to see it really work out quite well. And that was a significant step forward for Vivid Diamond. So that would be my selection. He drops back a little bit in trip, I think.
Yeah, but did you see how much weight Vivid Diamond was getting from Embahar? A stone.
Yeah, it's weight adjusted though. It's weight adjusted.
That was on good for firm as well.
Big progression there. As I said, that's why I hated the race.
It's got a little bit of soft ground form, but nothing up to this level.
That would be my token selection.
Fair enough.
But you're very keen on Wells Fargo, so I think we give you that one. 310. Oh, now this was something that really excited me. I enjoyed this one. So this is the 7 Furlong Challenge Cup handicap. It's one of those great big field late season Saturday handicaps that it can pay to get stuck into from a betting perspective. Particularly unique.
Are you taking the piss there? Where are you getting that from?
That's what I've wrote in my article.
Is it?
Yeah. Particularly because it's a bit quirky because it's over 7. You get 112,000 goes to the winner. Last year's winner, Raising Sand, lines up here again and is currently 5s, I think, heading the market. Where I took a big start on this, with the ground coming up soft, you've likely to get some kind of extreme biases coming out. So I had a look at the draw bias that we might see over 7 furlong races on soft or heavy ground at Ascot, and there is a significant bias. There is quite a large bias towards Q1 of the draw. That is effectively stalls 1 to 5. You got
really? I just watched the first race at Ascot over 8 furlongs, and the high numbers were the place to be.
That's what it is historically. 2008, right. All of the soft and heavy races over 7 furlongs, big Q1 draw bias. What you've got, that's 11 from 94 on in Q1. That's 11.7%. Also in profit to level stakes on Bet4SP. And then you've got 7% in Q2, 3% in Q3, and 3% in Q4. So it is a big bias. There's 2 that I like here. I like them anyway, and I like them even more because of the bias. I like Bedouin Story. I think he's going to love conditions. He's 1 from 1 on soft, and he's 4 from 6 over the 7 furlong trip. The big field won't phase him at all. He's 1 from 1 in fields of 16 plus runners. I also really like Summerhand stepping up to 7 for the first time after running over 6 all season. On pedigree, I think the trip move is really going to suit. His dam, Kate the Great, has had progeny winners all the way up from 5 furlongs to 1 mile 2. And progeny for her are actually 2 from 11 with 6 places. So there's winners. He's by Lope de Vega as well, and he's had 5 group class winning horses at 7 furlong. And also we've talked about Lope de Vega's going further as well, so I think it suits on that side of the pedigree. Summerhand himself is 2 from 8 with 4 places on soft ground. That's 4 places overall, including the 2 wins. So no worries with the conditions either. So I'm quite keen on both Bedouin Story and Summerhand. Do you agree with me? Or are you going elsewhere?
I disagree with you. Bedouin Story is too high in the handicap.
Nah.
And he's £2 wrong. Nah. I like Casanova here for John Gosden. Similar angle to last week, Lord North that we put up. Obviously, he's probably not as well in as Lord North, but he's well bred. He's by Franco, out of Karen's Caper, who was a Group 3 winner over 7 furlongs and a mile. As you mentioned, this is 7 furlongs, and you would not normally associate Franco's with dropping in trip. We won. I should mention, I'll do it in a minute. He's dropping down from 8 furlongs to 7 furlongs, but I think with this soft to heavy ground and the Ascot being a stiff track, I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. It'll probably race like 8 furlongs anyway. Now, Casanova is very lightly raced. He's only had 5 starts, and in May, at the end of May, he was gelded. Since that gelding operation, he is 2 from 2. He pissed up at Wolverhampton, and then he won at Sandown relatively comfortably as well. He's only gone up £6 for that. So yeah, and these Ascot handicaps, they're all the similar horses who turn up and beat each other. Racing Sand has obvious claims, but friggin' hell, I mean, he won this last year, but it was off 8 stone 11. And he had and Nicola Curry was claiming £3 then, so now he's off 9-10. He's a year older. He'll obviously love the ground, but God, he's got to be vulnerable, hasn't he? Kezar is a fucking arsehole. I've backed that horse so many times, and then when I stopped backing him, his form figures went 1, he went 1-1, 6, 1-1. So I don't like him. Just pissed me off. So he's probably at his limit now anyway. 105. He won a race last time at Doncaster, but it was egg and spoon race really. There's only got 4 runners. Escobar off 105. No, thank you. Maxime again. Too high. Summer Hand is one of these ones that never wins. He's too high. Kinran, let's not even get started on Kinran. Still off 101, which we know he can't win off. I mean, he will prefer the softer ground, but I don't know how you can be backing Kinran. So Beloved is a horse I've put up his last 2 runs because I thought he's very well handicapped. But I put him up on the basis that he likes better ground and a strong pace to be held up off. There's not much pace in this race, and it's a bog. He has won on soft, but it was a few years ago now. He's not won since 2016, and he's a 9-year-old. He has got Angus Villiers taken off 7, but there's too much against him for me. I prefer the improver. Kaiser Soze's form's better on the all-weather, which can translate at Ascot, but he's not for me. Rip Off. He does win more than the likes of Kinran and Summerhand, but again, I think he's too high off 96. Remarkable. I didn't like bad. So yeah, I've got Radiant is running in 15 minutes, and hopefully we'll win. So yeah, Casanova. All of them are sort of around their ceiling, if you like, for the handicap marks, where we don't know how good Casanova is yet. He's got a very good pedigree, comes here in form. The ground is a question, but he's never run on firmer than good. So I'm thinking maybe he does want soft ground. Frankels sometimes tend to like the soft ground. So it's a slight concern, but I'm not too worried about it. He's racing off 8-10, improving 3-year-old. Off you go. It's like that no context Hearn, irrelevant, past it, coming through. Casanova.
Shite draw though. So
well,
we'll see if my draw theory is correct.
Well, Racing Sand won this from 17 last year, so
different ground.
No, it wasn't. It was soft ground then, you Doyle.
Ah, shit.
I think you've got that totally wrong, by the way.
Let's go and have a look.
Totally wrong.
It's not totally wrong. Right. We'll start talking about the next race, and then I'll dig out the figures. So Bedouin Story and Summerhand for me there, Casanova for you. 340.
It was soft last year. Oh, listen to this. So it was soft last year. This is the 1 to 5, and these are the stall numbers: 17, 18, 15, 11, 16. That's the top 5. You go and have a little click on your little computer there, and I'll talk about the 340. I like one in the 340.
The Bengoff Stakes. There's been some decent horses come out of this in recent years. Probably the most notable being Blue Point, who won this race as a 3-year-old in 2017. I think I know who you're going to put up here, but take it away while I go and drill into the Ascot draw.
Yeah, a horse that I've been looking forward to, and unfortunately he's only raced once this season, but I really like Tabdeed. Looked really impressive at the end of last year, and Owen Burrows has said he doesn't need it, but he would prefer softer ground, so that's not a worry. He came back at Doncaster in August, and a decent field. He had the the Portland winner in there. The second, Bernard O'Reilly, came out and won next time. He was giving them all weight, and he hadn't ran for a while, and he beat them easily. I think this is a proper group sprinter in the making. And yeah, he's favourite, I think. So it's not exactly revolutionary what I'm saying, but he's won over course and distance. I just think they were going to run him in the Group 1 champion sprint, so they obviously think he's a Group 1 horse. So this Group 3 contest shouldn't be a problem. The dangers, probably Kate Byron, obvious, second favourite. But since he stepped up to group company after winning the what the fuck's that handicap called? After winning the Wokingham pretty easily, he hasn't looked anywhere near as good. He was slammed in the July Cup. Third last time out at York, but that was back up at 7 furlongs. So read into that what you will. What's his form like on soft?
So let me jump in. I really, really like Kip Byron for this. Couple of reasons. Varian's on fire at the moment. The 4 from 16, 25% last 7 days. It's a class drop. So he's been running at Group 1 and Group 2 level, as you mentioned. He's dropping down.
Not running well.
I would dispute that. In the July Cup, he was
second last in the July Cup.
He was 1 length behind Glorious Journey, who subsequently went and won the Hungerford at Newbury in August, which is a Group 2. At York last time, he was ahead of Sir Dancelot, who of course won.
Yeah, but he was also behind Major Jumbo.
Major Jumbo's won since, but albeit
Limbs Cruiser. Who the fuck is Limbs Cruiser?
Sir Dancelot was behind him. It's come out and won Group 2 level Ledger Day. Speaking Colours was in behind and took the Renaissance Stakes, which I think is a Group 3 at the Curragh. I think he's rock solid.
It is a Group 1 race, Tom. They're obviously going to come out and win in lesser races.
Yeah, I think he's rock solid. They've come out and won at this level and better. So I think I really like Kate Byron.
How many group races has Kate Byron won?
Class drop.
How many group races has he won?
I don't know. Probably none. He won that Class 2 handicap.
Exactly.
Yes, though. And then he went straight up to Group 1 level. Doesn't mean he can't be competitive at Group 3 level.
No, he can be competitive. I've just said he's the danger to the winner.
He wins.
Don Juan Triumphant on this soft, heavy ground is going to be a different proposition to what he has been. But I just think the progressive Tabdeed, he's only had a few starts, younger horse. I think he's going to win. I'm pretty confident, to be fair.
I'm still doing this draw stuff.
It's a massive shame that they couldn't have got him in a big handicap off 103. I was hoping he was going to go to the Wokingham. I think he would have won that as well, obviously. But yeah. Okay, so Tabdeed for me and Kate Byron for you.
Yeah.
First and second favourite.
Yeah, good. Nice and original.
Touch them and you'll probably make a loss. It's a very small loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna present. So if you're watching the YouTube, you'll be able to see this.
Oh Jesus! Is this for the draw?
This is for the draw, yeah.
Good. I've just proven this theory wrong.
With one race.
Yeah.
Doesn't prove any. Doesn't prove out. Small sample size. This is the win percent and the place percent. All soft and heavy races over 7 furlongs at Ascot since 2008. As you see, there is a complete trend towards Q1. This is big field races. This is races with 13 plus runners. Same trend. So I really believe there's a bias towards.
Yeah, hang on. 13 plus runners. Well, Q4, you want at least 16.
But I can choose 16 plus then if you want. I mean,
you should do 16 plus, so then that's fair.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it live.
Oh, this is thrilling stuff for the viewers. I mean, the people listening aren't getting much from this, to be fair.
I mean, there's only 9 races there, so we're not really getting enough of a sample size. The sample size ain't great. There's still a place bias towards quarter 1, and quarter 2's better than 3 and 4. Quarter 3, 0 from 51.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, well,
Might
recent.
have a bet with you on like what part of the draw the winner comes from.
Well, I like Casanova, who's in 13.
So work out where that is. Quarter 3, the worst part.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting, won't it? That'll be like the ultimate win for me if he wins. Then I can just rub your face in it forever.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Who else is in quarter 3?
I think we should move on. I think
go on. Yeah, that's a bit boring.
4:15, anything.
Do you know what? No, this Phillies race doesn't do anything for me.
4:50.
4:50. Yeah, I like 2 in this race. I like. He's your friend Celsius.
Oof, what horse!
Unbelievable.
Got his nuts off, and then he was an absolute machine.
Went crazy, didn't he? 1, 2, 1, 1, 1 since the nuts off.
Horse of the season.
Well, he's what's he gone up? Must have gone up 30 pounds, has he?
Yeah, he's gone up at least 20.
What did he? 58 when you won on him. I love this. Gelding, tongue tie first time, Hood first time in a handicap. Boom, 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 boom. So much intent. Off 58. He's off 86 now. Yeah.
130 drifted on the exchange.
Horse of the year for you.
Unbelievable. That's why my stats are still surviving, because of that one off.
End of the flat season, we'll do our awards, and he'll be your horse of the year, improver of the year. Right, back to this race. Yeah, I like 2. Erasmus Maximus.
Is this the race that he wins every year?
Yeah, he's won it the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's back down to a similar mark that he won off last year. £7 claimer on. Obviously likes the course and distance. Has won on soft. It looks a target. Bang bang. Yeah, so he's obvious claims. And the other one I like is mainly a ground selection. Tawny Port loves a bog, loves the soft ground. He is, isn't he? Yeah, he is. I think he's £1 higher than his highest winning mark, but he's got Marco Gianni taking off the 7, so obviously that takes him below it, and he drops down to 5 furlongs here, which I like also because he's 1 for 2 over this distance and ran a really nice race at Windsor, I want to say, early in the year, winning. So I think the drop to 5 is a plus. Loves the soft ground. The trainer's in pretty hot form, I think. Yeah, he's won 8 out of his last 25 with 5 places. That's 32%. That is red hot form. Jesus, he's to £1 stake. Stuart Williams is plus £54 in the last 14 days, which is insane. So yeah, there's a lot going for Tawny Port, and then you've got the course record, the course form, winning the race, ideal conditions for Erasmus Maximus. So I'll take 2 against the field in that race.
Yeah, nice. Jump out a Newmarket. I have to say, I only really looked at the Sun Chariot. Did you look at anything else?
There's nothing I really like at Newmarket. I sort of quite liked a few at Ascot, so I stuck with them. I thought there's quite a lot of 2-year-old races at Newmarket, which I haven't really. I mean, there's a 30 runner sales race, so. We'll
talk about the Sun Chariot a little bit then. So, I mean, the market is completely, there's core favourites up and down the lines here. Iridessa is at 4s, Lawrence is at 4s, Voracious is at 4s, Hermosa is at 4s with a bit of 9 to 2 knocking around. Lavender's Blue at 7s. Iridessa, of course, is a horse that got a place in the heart of the podcast. I think the 1,000 Guineas winner has been forgotten a little bit. Obviously, lost away a little bit. But Aiden is 3 from 10 plus 6 in the last 10 years. He won it with Halfway to Heaven in 2008. That's 11 years ago. Alice Springs 2016, Roly Poly 2017. Hermosa, I don't think we've seen her on soft, but she's a full sister of Hydrangea who won the
I think she
fillies
had
and
one on
mares.
top when she was 2.
Oh yeah, it was a maiden, wasn't it?
It was her maiden win. Yeah, it was her second start.
It was a maiden, yes, yeah, but not in any decent company. But I don't think that's a negative because Hydrangea won that fillies and mares Group 1 on Champions Day in 2017. So I think, and she's a full sister to Hermosa, so I think the conditions will suit.
Beauty is Truth is the dam, and the dam sire is Pivotal, and they are obviously love the soft ground, so you would think it should be fine.
Yeah. So I just thought Hermosa was a bit of a forgotten horse, and I'm surprised that the 1,000 guineas winner isn't more fancied here, even though they're all at a flat line in the front of the field. How about you?
Yeah, I think from a betting perspective, this is one of the hardest races of the week. They've always said about Iridessa that she wants better ground, so probably cross her off on that basis. So I quite like Lavender's Blue just from the run last time. She looks very progressive, but then she doesn't have any soft form. Never ran on it. Has ran well on good to firm, so that's a bit of an unknown. And you're not exactly getting a massive price against Group 1 performers here. Lawrence has done out this season. She's they probably should have sold her at the end of last year, and they'd have got about 2 million more than they would now. I'll probably row in behind you with Hermosa, but it would not be a confident selection in the slightest. Yeah, really, really tough race to predict.
Yeah, there's only probably away from Newmarket, and there's one that I quite like at Redcar. It's in the straight mile handicap, and it's a race that Tim Easterby really likes. He's 5 from 25, but he's plus 41 points to kind of level stakes on Industry SP, plus 73 points on Betfair SP, plus 20 points on the Betfair Players Market. And he won it last year with Give It Some Teddy, and he brings Give It Some Teddy back again at the same race this year. So 4-10 at Redcar, I quite like Give It Some Teddy as well.
The ground has to be a massive concern for Give It Some Teddy. He likes good to firm ground. It has been raining a lot. It's still raining. Looks like it's raining now, to be fair, in the northeast. That would really concern me. He's also above his highest handicap winning mark now. He won last time out, won really well. He does love Redcar. He's won a Redcar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 4 of them over 8 furlongs. But the ground tends to be good, and it's going to be a bog tomorrow. So that would be a concern for me. I'm sort of steering clear of Redcar, to be honest, because it's the ground's just going to be an absolute state. There's an interest. The Gisborough Stakes is interesting. The listed race, because you've got a lot of horses in there that love a bog. Mitcham Swagger loves a bog. Breton Rock loves a bog. Munter Dab wins on soft. So main edition wins on soft. So again, it's not really a betting race, but that's for the bog watchers. That'd be a nice race. One of them. I think I'd probably side with Mitcham Swagger, but fucking hell, who knows? But yeah. I would say go cautiously if you're betting at Redcar tomorrow.
Let's go to the Arc then. Does Enable win the Arc, or does Guy F manage to get out from potentially a poor draw and gallop them into submission, or something else?
Oh, well, yeah. The draw. I don't think the draw is too much of an issue because there's only 12 runners. As you know, I have a bet on Guy F at 33-1 for the Arc. So, I mean, I don't mind if Enable wins, but if she was to get beat, I would hope it was him. He will. You would think to beat her, he has to do what he did in Germany and just try and break her. But he might break himself in the process. But we've seen horses. She likes to get a lead. She'll sit in behind whoever's leading, which you're going to presume would be Guy F. And if he just doesn't go a relentless gallop, you would presume he's going to get beat, because Enable, she has a turn of foot. She stays well. She's very solid. So you have to change it up. If you are taking her on, you've got to take her on with a horse she hasn't faced. Magical's not going to beat her. What else is in there? Just Magical. It's only Volgeist. Can't see him beating her on soft ground. There's loads of Japan ones that I have absolutely no idea about. Sotsas is the French one, the French hope. He hasn't faced her. Japan hasn't faced her. Gaev hasn't faced her. So you would think that one of those protagonists, if anything was going to be, it would have to be one of them. But I think she's very solid. I won't be betting her, obviously. She's short enough. I wanted to win for the sport, and I think she will win. I think she's very solid. Unless Gaia just is a freak from the front, he will like the ground if it's soft, which it says it is, but you never know with these French going reports. One at a price that I will throw at you, a big price. It's 100 on the exchange. You'll probably get more than that on Sunday. I think it's 50 to 1 with the bookies. And that is a horse called French King.
Yeah, it's one I'm just looking at. I thought you were going to pick him. Yeah.
Did you? Did you now? Yeah, I can't remember how, but I think I was watching a race. Was it Racing TV or was that dodgy Dubai stream that they seem to have
got rid of?
Caught up on now, which is fucking annoying.
If anyone knows of a good illegal stream to watch racing, please let us know.
Yeah, that Dubai channel was class because you just used to get Racing TV for free. And I watched this race in Germany because I was like, oh, Communique's in it and Old Persian. And I thought, that'll be interesting. I'll watch that. And this French King just comes along on the bridle and he won a length, but I mean, it was a very comfortable length. And, Communique's a solid Group 2 horse. Old Persian's probably Group 1 horse, really. And I was really impressed by the way he beat them. And he's clearly an improving horse. He's won 4 out of 4 this year. Olivier Pellier is a jockey I like. When you always see these French meetings, I always think he rides well. And I just think he's a massive price. And he's interesting. And he's beaten a few horses that I know of and I know the form's decent. So I just thought at a wacky price, if someone goes 4 places, which they probably will, if a couple of the market principles falter, he could be a little shock.
Oh, yeah, nice. French King.
Drawn in 5, decent draw. Probably just sit. See, the thing, Gaeff's either going to break them and win, and it'll be an unbelievable performance from the front, or he's just gonna get swallowed up later on. And I'm not sure which way it's going to go. Probably the latter, because this is obviously a seriously good race. I mean, we haven't even talked about Japan or Magical. Magical can't beat Enable on all form. So, and Japan, that judgment form's becoming questionable. He was. Well, I didn't think he was that impressive in France before that. The Group 2 he won at Ascot was pretty shit. So I think he needs to take a big step forward. I don't think he's shown anything like he beat Crystal Ocean, but I don't know that judgment race is very questionable for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. The form's pretty ropey. Like nothing's come out the judgment and won.
You feel that Enable just broke Crystal Ocean that day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like she took him to the well and beat him, and then that was just him done, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, no spunk left.
Yeah, no spunking left.
And also that the King Edward at Ascot, that's garbage as well.
Yeah,
nothing else that's come out of that has won either. So there's been 8 subsequent runs. The only winner has been Japan himself, like Bangkok twice now, Eagles by Day now, Pondus now. Yeah, crap, beating crap basically.
Yeah,
might be a place.
I wouldn't be shocked if Magical beat Japan.
No, never would I. Not at all.
I think so. Sotsas is obviously the 3-year-old French thing, but I don't know. I think if you were odds-on punter, Enable looks pretty solid. I mean, she definitely is the best horse in the race. There's just a few unknown factors. But yeah, hopefully she'll get the job done. and probably retire off into the sunset, you'd imagine.
Yeah, well deserved. Good. Any further comments on the weekend then?
No, just remember that ground's heavy, so maybe it might be a weekend not to go crazy because it can sometimes throw up performances. But if you're doing your form study, just take that into account. You really do want that. It's obviously the most important time of the year for ground form. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah. Remember that soft ground bias over 7 at Ascot. Low.
Absolutely, do not listen to that.
Low.
Jesus.
Graphs will be published imminently. Cool. All right. Thanks. Enjoy. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.